if your Explorer post requires you to run from like, different locations, like from point A to point B, in order to get to that, you have to run to get there because, PT is good for you. And in the process of doing that, you turn a corner and suddenly there is some kind of superior in front of you, whether it be like a chief, sheriff, some kind of commander, someone who's like, kind of a big deal, suddenly right in front of you. So you're trying to stop running, trying not to hit them. And also you're trying to stand at attention, do the respectful thing. But also you have about 15 other explorers behind you that are also trying to do the same thing. So ultimately you end up with this huge like circus style explorer sandwich. And in that process you make, or actually your entire post looks like a bunch of idiots in front of your superior. If that has ever happened to you, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Hey guys, how's it going? My name is RJ York. If you're watching this on my channel, that's awesome. If you're watching this on Explorer Talk, that's awesome too. If you don't know what either of those things are, you should probably check them out. Now, if you were watching my last video, you will notice that there are a couple of changes, like for number one, this epic background behind me. Now, I understand that it might be kind of hard for some of you to see it, but if you lean in real close, squint your eyes and the planets align in like, the correct direction, you'll be able to catch just a glimpse of it. And when you do, it'll look pretty freaking cool. Now today, I'm going to be talking about the top 5 things that every explorer either should have or should honestly consider getting. And number 1, topping it off, is a shirt stay. Now, a lot of explorers and a lot of people, they don't really know what a shirt stay is, but it's exactly what it sounds like. It's basically some kind of device that keeps your shirt pulled down. That is it. Now, this one in particular, this is called a belt shirt stay, where it's this giant, nice little belt made out of rubber. And essentially, take the ends, you wrap it around, cinch it in, wrap it around the shirt that you want to keep tucked in, grab the bottoms, pull it down, then you put your pants on, bam, your shirt stays tucked in. I like this a lot. I use this every time I go training because it's really quick, it's easy to adjust. So if you're like under a time limit, slap this on, put your shirt down, pants on, you're good to go. Now there is another kind where this one in particular, this is actually brand new. There's no real official name for it yet, but it's all elastic. And this elastic piece, it wraps around your leg. And you got these nifty little clamps that are pointed up that attach to the front and back of your shirt. And so the thinking behind this is that since the whole thing is elastic, it's designed to stretch. So as you move around throughout the day, this thing will keep your shirt tucked in because it'll just stretch and then relax. So your shirt always looks cool. And because, we all know looking cool is like the number 1 rule of being tactical. So for the second thing that I think all explorers should have is a decent flashlight. Now I say like decent, not like, like the best or anything like that. It's because, well, number 1, it's really hard to determine what the best kind of flashlight is. A lot of people like, reliability, the ability to run it over with a truck, brightness. There's a lot of factors that really go into it. But all of those factors line up with price. Now, I know a lot of explorers that they don't have jobs. Unlike me, I've got a job, low expenses, and no girlfriend. So I basically have like free money to like spend on all my crap. So that's why I rock a $50 Streamlight, because I got nothing else better to do. But a lot of explorers ask me like, hey, what kind of flashlight should I get? And honestly, the best answer to it is get something that's brighter than 200 lumens. Something that runs off of a cheap like battery option, like you can rechargeable AA, AAA, whatever you use. This runs CR123s, which honestly those can be pretty expensive because I'm weird and I don't run rechargeable. I don't trust them. But I know Phoenix, spelled with an F, bunch of letters after it, they make a 245 lumen flashlight that runs off of 2 AA batteries. And honestly, that's all you need. It's something really basic, because you're not going to need like 1,000 lumens to illuminate just like a hallway. You just need something basic. And 200 lumens, it'll give you exactly that. Now, for the next one, if you were paying attention during my duty belt video, then you do know that I have what's called a combat application tourniquet on it. Now, this made my list because honestly, I'm kind of a medic person. Like, I want to get my EMT, medics, all that fun stuff. And tourniquets are really important because it's good to know how to use it, when to use it, and how to do it properly in case for whatever reason you need to use it. Now, if you are going to get a tourniquet, I suggest that you get a training tourniquet. This one in particular is like a $15 Amazon special, but you also have what's called your real tourniquet in like a med kit or something like that you can go to if for whatever reason you do need to use one. Now, I say that because in theory, they're only supposed to be used one time in order for it to be used effectively. So your training one's designed to be used multiple times. Your real one and done. Now, for the next thing, I know a lot of explorers, they don't really have gloves. Like, they'll carry, like, medical gloves or whatever, but a lot of them don't really have a set of cloth gloves. Now, this is really important. Like, if you're going to be dealing with a tactical situation where you're going to be dealing with a lot of people, like, for instance, like an active shooter, tubular assault, like a hostage rescue or something like that, where you're going to be dealing with, like, either people, some kind of evidence, like a gun or something like that, and you're going to be, like, patting people down, you're going to want to have a set of gloves. So, 1, you're protected, and 2, you don't contaminate anything. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I'd say 3, so you don't like pick yourself with like a needle and then you get like African hemorrhagic fever or something like that. So that's why it's a good idea to carry gloves. I carry a set of mechanics wear. These in particular are the 0.5 millimeter ones. They're like the extra thin ones, but honestly, the regular ones are like $20, That's pretty good. Now, you can go all out and get like the $50 Hatch gloves or like the $50 Under Armour gloves, whatever you want. But honestly, mechanics wear, I personally think, is just as good as any of the other ones. Now, also, in conjunction with carrying a set of cloth gloves, I talked about this at the beginning, it's a good idea to have medical gloves with you. Not just a single pair, but multiple pairs in case you're dealing with multiple people or some kind of liquid. Like, if you're dealing with multiple people, you're going to want to swap gloves so you don't cross-contaminate, and it's just a bad day for everybody. So on my duty belt, I keep 2 sets of medical gloves, and in my IFAC, I keep an additional 3. Just in case, you never know, your buddy might need a pair. You just never know sometimes. And for the final thing today, guys, it's decent handcuff keys. Because a lot of my explorers, they use the cheap little, 1-inch long, cheap keys that come with their handcuffs. And 9 times out of 10, they always lose them. So if you're paying attention to my duty belt video, you'll know that I keep this on a ring. This is kind of like my primary key. It's a good idea to have multiple keys around in case one goes down, one breaks, you lose it. So it's a good idea to have multiple keys around. But this one in particular, I personally like this one. I keep this in my uniform shirt. This one is like a pen. It's a handcuff key. It's like a really large version of the cheap ones. And the ergonomics on this thing are just phenomenal. I really enjoy it. And it's just really easy to use. Alright guys, so if you have any questions, comments, cries of outrage, or you just want to roast me so I can get back to you and roast you back, leave it in the comments. Go and like me, Instagram, Facebook, all that cool stuff. And we'll catch you guys next time.